right here. So if you don't know who your MCTT is, just take a look at this list, reach out to them, and get those questions answered if you have any from the referrals applet. This is going to allow us to basically jump again. Yesterday we did. I don't know why. It's a Wednesday and I haven't had coffee. Which one did we do yesterday? Consumer. I knew what we were doing. All right, consumer, right? So we did consumer yesterday, and today, obviously, we're moving on to designs. Quick question. Out of everybody here on this call, it looks like we have a decent amount of people. Who is familiar with Canva? You can raise your digital hands if you want.
I'm not.
You're not? Okay. So we have one hand raised, right? All right. Cool. So Canva is just it's a place where you can go to create okay, Bonita, familiar with Canva. All right, awesome. So basically what Canva is it's a platform that we can create social media posts, marketing materials, to get out to our consumers, whether it be via social media, whether it be print, flyers, things of that nature. The cool thing is right here in Command, we actually have an applet called Designs, which is our version of Canva. Again, I would tell you I personally was never into the creating pretty pieces of marketing. That just wasn't something that I did prior to really taking on this role. With that being said, I 100% have never used Canva. However, I am familiar with it. I have been in design since 2019, February 2019. So I think I have like 600-700 designs in my design library. But with that being said, you can create your own, or the cool thing is KWRI has a whole marketing team that creates pre-made templates for you and really every piece of marketing that you could want. And it's super easy to go in and edit. We'll dive into some things like how our systems actually connected to the, sorry for that background noise. Somebody's being really loud in the market center right now. So I don't know what that is if you're hearing that. But with that being said, the cool thing about our designs is it's actually linked to the MLS, right? So as opposed to having to find pictures, things like that, in Rain or whatever MLS you have bright, and downloading them and all that stuff, you can actually just have all that listing information right there at the palm of your fingertips, really, honestly. So we'll dive into that. We'll build out a couple different things here in this class. And again, I recommend we'll take time so that you guys can kind of go through and build these things out as well, because these things that we build out today, we will then be talking about how we post those to our different accounts and things of that nature, especially like the social media posts tomorrow when we go into like campaigns and things like that. So again, definitely recommend building these out as we go along. So we obviously had action steps, right, from the previous classes. One was making sure that we shared our app with 10 people. With a show of hands, who's shared that with 10 people up until this point at least? There you go. I see you, man. Hey, I expected that from a Ravens fan, so I expected you to get them 10. Well, how about everybody else? Did we get 10? We get 10 app shares? App shares? All right. I see 2 hands raised. Well, technically 3 thumbs up. Okay, cool. Great job. Let me commend you guys on that, right? Because part of where we experience growth is getting outside our comfort zone. We may have felt a little hesitant just to share that with 10 people because we didn't know how they would respond. But again, I definitely want to commend you guys on taking the initiative to share that. I can tell you personally, with that app, I share it a ton. That's probably the note. I have a QR code with our app link on our business cards because I don't even like giving business cards out. I'd rather just give them my app, right? Then they're always connected to me. We also have it on our listing signs. So as people drive by and they scan a QR code, they download our app. So again, the more people you can get that app in their hands, the better, from my experience. Let's see. So tomorrow we'll need to make sure that our marketing profile is 100% complete, right? So just, again, go through your marketing profile in settings, and just make sure that, your headshot, logos, all your personal information is up to date, along with your market center logos. And again, if you don't have that information, just reach out to your MCTT. They'll get you squared away and get you what you need in order to be successful. That's why we're all here, is to help you, the agent, get you what you need in order to get into business and live this big life that we all talk about all the time. Now, with that being said, let's jump over to a little bit of designs information before we start building things out, right? So we mentioned Canva, and Canva is just that. It's a different platform that really anybody uses for not just real estate, whether it be, a flyer for our high school homecoming, right? That our high school football game or whatever. We can go to Canva to create anything. The cool thing about, again, designs is it's real estate specific. And it takes a lot of the work out of it for you, the agent, right? We talk about the 80-20 principle all the time, right? We want to stay in the 20% of our activities that are going to get us 80% of our results. Me personally, figuring out the format and making all these little tweaks and changes to make it just what I want is going to take a lot of time, honestly. The cool thing is I have a whole library of templates to choose from. As soon as I see one that catches my eye, I can go in, brand it to me, brand it to my listing very, very quickly, and I'm in and out, right? And I'm focusing on those, back to those 20% of activities that are going to get me to my goals. So again, now one thing you'll notice when we do click on designs, right, it'll pull up our library of everything that we have. When you actually go to create a design or go into the library with the templates, you'll see it spin for a couple seconds. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong, right? That is us. It's basically taking us to our third-party provider that we partnered with with KW, which is WeBrand. So again, sometimes that will spin for a couple seconds, and then it will open up WeBrand with all your templates and everything like that. Now, one thing you may want to do is you may need to go and enable cookies for WeBrand. Again, if you don't understand what that process is or just not familiar with, giving certain websites access, just get with your MCTT. Again, they'll be able to show you exactly what to do really quick, and within a minute or two, you'll have exactly what you need. Now, the cool thing about designs also, right, is, again, we talked about templates. However, we have multiple different things that we can create in here, right? So we can create social posts. We can create print, whether that be, flyers for our open house, just listed flyers, things of that nature. We also have, social media posts. We have email campaigns, well, not campaigns, but design templates that we can go and edit, which, again, when we go into campaigns tomorrow, you'll see how you can send those out. Also, there's little videos that you can create really quick. Now, the one thing that I'll tell you with these videos is just to make sure that, again, we have third party and different partners that are providing data and information to us, right? Let me ask a question, and feel free to unmute yourself. Where is the best source of local information around your real estate market?
I would say the local MLS.
Absolutely.
Go to their website, get trends, all the marketing data. They sent an email out yesterday.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love that. I did see that email as well. If you're in my market, we got one too, for rain at least. But again, the MLS is going to be the tried and true most accurate place to go. And us as realtors, we know that, right? So what I always recommend when we create these videos, again, we have partnerships with data that are pulling. But again, always fact check that with your MLS. Before I put anything out, I always just run through those stats really quick, run a report based on the stat that I'm actually posting that day, and just making sure that it's accurate to my market 100%. Because again, once we put it out there, I mean, we can't delete it, but people may see it. So just be intentional. And the more intentional you are with the activity you're doing, from my experience, the bigger return on the investment that you'll get, right? So let's go over here. Your brand, we'll go through creating your personal branding assets, right? Because again, right, we all have different businesses. I have a team logo. Some people have different logos than me, obviously, right? So we want to make sure that when we go in to edit one of these design templates, that everything that we want that we're going to use on a regular basis is right there at our disposal. We don't have to go in here, look in our downloads, look in our documents, look in our pictures to find what it is that we're looking for. It's all right there, quick and easy. Again, our colors are blue. Being a Ravens fan, I probably should have made it purple, but we got a nice shade of blue as our main color for our team. With that being said, I have that color scheme built into ours. Why? Because that's a color that I use in our marketing quite a bit. So I want to have that there really quick in my color swab, so to speak. And then in addition to that, we're going to upload our headshots, right? Because again, I may want to drag my picture onto one of these things and brand it completely to me. Well, the cool thing is, I have that right there as well. Also, if you actually have those things in your marketing profile, like your headshot, that will already be there in your asset. So same thing with logos and things of that nature. Let's see. So we're also gonna create a neighborhood video. So again, this is the one thing that I want you guys to pay attention to is just make sure the data that pulls, fact check it with your MLS. I said that once. We had a conversation around that already. Just fact check it, right? The more intentional you are, the better return you get, right? And then we're gonna go over like just listed, just sold social media posts, how to create one of those, and then the other workshop thing that we're gonna do today. And these are the three things we're gonna hit on today. Nothing more than this, but I want to make sure when we leave this class in 45 minutes that you guys are comfortable creating a neighborhood video, right? And again, we're gonna fact check the data with our MLS, right? We're gonna be able to create a just listed or just sold social media post. And then we're going to go into some print options where we'll go over we have buyer and listing presentation templates. I'm going to pick a listing presentation template, and then I'll actually show you an example of my fiance's, which is a template that she's customized completely. And I'll kind of roll through that just so you guys can see how custom you can get with it. But before we get started, any questions about anything that we've talked about up until this point before we get rolling? All righty. Well, in that case, we will just go ahead and get rocking and rolling. So I will jump in here into my command. And let me downsize this window up here. All right. All right. So first things first, we're obviously here in command, our home screen. If you, again, don't know where to go to log in, I honestly just Google KW Agent login. It's the first one that pops up. And just put in your username and password, and it'll obviously take you right here to our home screen. One of the things that I always say, and I joke as a football coach, we put names on helmets with tape until we learn the name, right? We relate the name and the number. I call this the tape on the helmet. Hit the red KW. It's going to pull out all these applets over here on the left side of the page. And if you hover over them, it'll tell you. It's just easier to see. And I can promise you guys, being in this everyday training to this, the one that I do all the time, I'll click opportunities, I mean to click campaigns, or I'll click campaigns, I mean to click opportunities. So this eliminates you looking at the icons. Again, we're going to be in designs today, so we're just going to click on that one. And again, if you don't have anything up here, don't worry, right? This is more or less your design library, things that you've already created, edited. So again, if you don't have anything, it's because you probably haven't built anything yet. But once we build some of these out today, they'll be right here every time you click designs. So first things first, the one that we're going to touch on is creating a neighborhood video. So with that being said, we're going to go right over here to the top right of the screen where it says create design, and it's going to pull up a window for us. Now, on this window, we have basically four options: email, social, print, and video. For this particular one, we're going to click video. And we're going to highlight that box there and click continue. And now it's going to ask us for a neighborhood. So again, just like and these are the same neighborhoods that are there when you're assigning a neighborhood for a biweekly neighborhood nurture or anything like that. So let's go over here and the riverfront. The riverfront in Suffolk. So I'm going to click this particular one here. Now again, you'll see the green check mark when I actually select it. And I'm just going to go down here to the next button once it's selected. Now, this is where I tell you to go in, run a report on that specific area, right? And make sure that this data is accurate, because again, this is what is going to pull, this is the data that will pull into the video. So again, let's say for instance, this was a little bit off and it was actually 481. I'm going to go in and make that. We'll say the price is on the rise. The average price per square foot ended up being, and again, but if the home price was on the rise, we're going to say this one is holding pretty steady. The number of homes for sale, and again, this is just stuff that we're going to fact check with our MLS. Now, these are the top 3 features that neighbors are saying. Now, again, this information pulls from, I believe, our partnership with Nextdoor, right? These are the things that the neighbors are actually saying are popular to do around there. Now, again, if you're familiar with the area, hops and brews, sights to see, wine lovers. So I'm probably going to get that out. And then we're going to go friendly community. So I'm going to select what those top 3 features are of that neighborhood. And again, if I'm that hyper local expert, I should have an idea of what certain people in certain areas like to do, right? If it's a home down in Virginia Beach, for instance, it might be more beach related activities that I'm going to post to that neighborhood. When we go down here, this is also going to pull from, guess where? Who can guess where this information pulls from?
From the profile?
Correct. Marketing profile. Oh, my phone number's not in there. I might need to go check my marketing profile. But again, this information pulls directly from your headshot. Is the same headshot that is in your marketing profile. Name, first name, job title, all that stuff. And then again, in our marketing profile, if we have our DBA logo uploaded, it's automatically going to be here along with our agent license number and our ownership statement.
I have a question about the neighborhood features.
Yeah.
What, like, if there's not anything selected and you're not, familiar with the neighborhood, should you just go online and kind of search it up and then, pick 3? Because I see there's an asterisk, so you have to pick the 3.
Correct. So what I would recommend is jump on. This is what I do. I jump on my agent website, because there's more than 3 up there. If you go into a neighborhood on your KW agent site, it'll break down that individual neighborhood and it will list more than 3 in certain orders based on the way the people in the neighborhood have responded in regards to what they like. Now, again, how accurate is that? Well, it's as accurate as the neighbors that actually contributed the information, right? And there may be.
You find that where?
I go to my agent site. And so, for instance, let me see here. All right, so here I've just basically pulled up the riverfront, same neighborhood right here on my website. When I go to explore neighborhood, it's going to take me to basically that neighborhood page specifically for the riverfront.
And what locals say? Okay.
And then I'll typically get a couple. So again, I see live music. Like, I'm pretty familiar with this area. There are a couple nice restaurants around there with, some good wines and things like that. You will have some live music from time to time. So if I pop over here, it just gives you a little bit more details on the neighborhood there. But yeah, so say I, wanted to change one of those things. Again, say, let's see, we could say artsy, coffee culture, and we said wine, right? Wine lovers, boom. All right. So again,
thanks for showing that.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Great question, by the way. So again, all this information right here is going to pull from your marketing profile kit. I don't know why I call it kit, but I'm gonna keep rolling with that. So if it doesn't work for you guys, sorry in advance. Here we go. Once we have all that set up, we're just gonna hit next. And what you're gonna see here It's going to spin for a little bit, up to 10 seconds. I haven't ever counted it personally to see if that's accurate. It might be 13. I don't know, but it seemed about it was about 11. You know, it was close enough. But now we have a cool little video right here on the riverfront. Again, any edits to the data that I've changed, any activities that the locals like will be right here. I don't know if you'll get the sound. I'll turn it up. Maybe you'll get it. Okay. So again, that's the little video, right? Now all we'll have to do is hit save. And that video has now been saved successfully. So now if I go here, let me go to my videos. Created October 13th, right here, we have our riverfront video. Obviously, I create a decent amount of videos for the riverfront. Now again, the cool thing here is we can download it.
Why did it not?
We can use it via campaigns, which again, that's a class that we're going to jump into tomorrow, right? We can share it directly on our social. So again, in that orientation class, if we've gone through and we've set up our in our settings and we've connected our Facebook as well as our Facebook business page, right? Because we need a Facebook business page in order to post via social media on command. What we're going to do, let's say I hit share to social. It's automatically going to pull up the video right here for me. And all I would do is type whatever it is that I'm, check out the latest info.
I pushed save on the video, but it didn't show up in my designs. There's nothing there.
The same thing happened with me. I didn't
So
save it.
let's, I'm going to jump back out of here because we'll go over campaigns tomorrow.
Can I chime in? Because the same thing happened to me, but then if you click on the drop-down box that says all types, it will refresh and then it will show up.
Thank you for that. That's exactly where I was going. So right here, what you said, beat me to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
my computer was a little slow, you know, but great job there for catching that, right? So when we bring that drop down, for everybody that hasn't seen that yet, right, we can filter between our emails. So again, we got different email templates that we can build out here. We have different social posts, right, different print stuff, as well as all our videos. And you can kind of go through and sort all those things there. So again, the biggest thing with this, and I know you guys have heard it like 5 times now, just make sure you confirm that information with your MLS and make sure it's accurate. That's the biggest thing. But other than that, what do you guys think? Any feedback on that? Has everybody been able to create a video first and foremost? I want to make sure everybody's been able to create a video.
Yes.
Okay, cool, awesome.
I have a question.
All right.
And I think that this would apply to both this and neighborhood nurtures. What if the home isn't in a neighborhood? Like we're out in the country and we have a lot of just country roads with houses on it. So what do we do with that?
So, great question, by the way. So, specifically around this, there's not but so much we can do because these videos are neighborhood specific. However, if you want to reach out to me off of this call, I can go into a little bit more detail. But what I've done is essentially, I know some of the agents, my market center have seen this. For areas that are more rural, where the biweekly neighborhood nurture doesn't give them really that much information because the neighborhoods aren't that well established per se, you can actually, using your agent website, create a pre-made search by selecting the filters and just using that URL because it will adjust. And I basically have an email like for homes in the city of Chesapeake under $350,000, right? So I have an email go out every 14 days on the 15th day, basically, that has that email link. And then I also have a text message that goes out that lets them know, hey, I just shot you a new list of updated homes in Chesapeake under 350,000. Then 14 days later, same email goes out with the same link, but it updates in live time. And I have a dynamic smart plan, so it realizes the second time the email sent out. So it sends a different text that I've already hey, just want to let you know I shot you a new updated list with a wink face emoji or something, right? But again, that's the workaround when the biweekly neighborhood nurture isn't what's so useful because of how, if you are in a rural area. So there is a smart plan we can build out and work around that and still give you the benefit of those 24 touches or 12 touches, depending on if you're doing biweekly or monthly neighborhood nurture. But like I said, just reach to me. I can show you specifically on how I did that. But again, I just want to stay focused on designs today. But again, reach out to me and I'll definitely, help you best I can with that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I want to share this video, you probably just said, I know you said like on Facebook and stuff, but if I just want to send it in an email, how do I do that?
Just go down here and just hit download.
Yeah.
So if you
Okay.
Yeah. Just hit those three. I don't know. Until I started doing tech stuff, they call these things meatballs. I don't know why. But so now it's like stuck in my head. So just click the three meatballs and it will pull this menu up, right? We can delete a video completely. We can rename it. We can share it directly on our social media. We can use it in a campaign as well, or we can just download it to our computer, in which case that downloaded file you can then attach to an email and send that out that way as well. All righty. Any other questions before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, this is Patricia. So when I download it, because it's showing in my command, but when I download it, it just goes into assets or?
So when you download it, it's going to actually download it to your computer. So if you actually go in your computer to pull up your files and you go to your downloads,
Then save it somewhere.
it'll be right there.
I see.
Just like my virtual
But
background.
you can
right?
share it directly from command right here without doing the download.
Well, so if we wanted to share it on like our business page, right? On like our social media business page, if I have my Facebook account set up in settings like we did in the orientation class, if I click share to social, it's instantaneously going to put the video right here for me. And then all I'll need to do, and this is the preview over here on the right side of the screen, check out the latest.
So mine says this feature is not available in mobile when I did that.
What device are you using currently?
I'm
Are
on
you
my
using are you
laptop.
using an iPad?
No,
Is your Facebook connected? Your Facebook in settings, and you have a Facebook business page as well?
yes.
Okay. Reach out to your MCTT or me, just because I would need to see exactly what's going on. And what I would recommend too, and this is just an awesome thing for everybody, if you are experiencing something that seems a little off, hopefully you're all familiar with Loom. Create a quick Loom video and then shoot that over to your MCTT. What that allows us to do is actually see what you're seeing, and we can see if it's just we're clicking in the wrong place or there may be something going on, and then we can help out with that too as well, right? So a Loom video does, I know as a trainer, it does me wonders because now I can actually see what you're seeing, the issues that you're having, and we can troubleshoot them together. But yeah, that should, when you click that, default you directly here. You also have the ability to use in campaigns, which again will just more or less bring you to your campaign screen, and then you can say, do I want to run this as a paid ad? Do I want to, email this out or do a social post? So again, me personally, I typically will just share to social. That's how I normally do it. So again, if you're not able to do that, reach out to your MCTT. If you can't click on that, and it won't let you do it. But other than that issue, are there any questions around actually creating the video and things of that nature that I can answer?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Alrighty. So the next one that we're gonna actually jump and go into is creating something for a listing. So, and this is gonna tie in our KWLS, which is our Keller Williams Listing Service, for all those people that don't like acronyms, because we have plenty of them here, right? In this company. So Kellerisms, I think is what they call them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just go to all types here. And these are all my templates, but I don't really need a template. We're going to go right back here to create design. And for this, because we're doing a listing presentation, we are actually going to hit print, because this is something that we will be printing off. Now, again, you'll see the spinning for a couple seconds, as we talked about. This is command switching and taking us over to our partnership, which is WeBrand.
Do we need to check the box that says import photos and text from a listing?
No, not yet. You don't have to worry about that right now. So again, if you're importing, right, we're taking something that's not already here in command and we're bringing it in, right? So the cool thing is, if you're specifically talking about a listing or a property, we don't need to import anything. Everything already lives right here, and that's what we'll kind of go over. It's super quick and easy. I love it. So first things first, before we get into editing anything, right? We talked about our marketing profile and having certain things in there, like our headshot, our logos, right? Those things are automatically going to pull over into our assets. The cool thing is we can actually add to those assets. So images that we use on a regular basis, verbiage that we use on social posts and things like that on a regular basis. Maybe it's just our website, right? All these things can be found in our assets. So if we click right over here, all the way you'll see at the top, we have templates, my designs, and then we have assets. So first things first, right? We talked about color palettes. Well, I have a decent, I like to take an easy shade of blue on the eyes for our business color. So that right there is a color that I use on a regular basis, probably more than anything. That is definitely all. I always want that available to me. So again, if I wanted to add another color, all I'm going to do, hit the plus sign. Let's say I'm going for like Baltimore purple, maybe. I don't know. We'll just roll with that. Now I've added purple to my, let's say we wanted to add white. Now I have a white, and let's say occasionally we have some red in there because we're KW. Now I got blue, purple, white, and red. That will literally be at my disposal for quick edits, change the background color of a template, anything like that, really, really quick. Now you'll see here.
Excuse me. When I pressed print, it says there is a box, what best describes you?
When you hit assets?
Print, assets?
Correct, right up here.
No, when I hit print.
When you hit print, it asks you what now?
What best describes you? There is a box.
All right. Let me go right back in here real quick and see. So we went here, print,
Yeah.
and continue. Yeah, I'm not necessarily seeing what you're seeing.
I think it's just because we're new, like we had never done it before, because that happened to me
Yeah.
too. I just
Okay.
selected business and then just pick business.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for that feedback, because I personally have never seen that, and I've been in here for
Yeah.
so long. If that's a thing that they added, which isn't necessarily bad for new people, like I wouldn't necessarily know about that, I guess. So thank you for that. So yeah, like she said, just pick business.
Okay.
And then once you're in there, right? This is your color palette. So once you get to WeBrand, right, we're over here in assets. So just make sure you click over there, right? And we went over the color and the fonts. All you do is click plus to add one, drag that color, and once you have it where you want.
So the colors aren't showing up on mine. I'm selecting them and nothing's happening. It's just staying white.
Is there still a plus? Is there a plus sign next to it? when
No,
it's
the
saying-
plus sign goes away and then it's just white.
And the color's not sticking.
Yeah, I moved it down the aisle. And then how do I get it to?
So yeah, so what I do is once I drag it and I get the color right here that I want, I just click off of it.
Yeah. No, it's not working. Huh. Okay. I don't
What
know.
happens?
It's not.
What happens when you go over here and click create new color palette right here? See if
Okay,
that
let me
new
try
one.
that. Same thing. I don't know why. It has
Interesting.
the. Is anyone else having that problem or just me? What's see the little ink dropper? That did something when I click on the ink dropper.
Well, so the ink dropper, what that allows you to do, right, is this actually, and we'll go into this when we're editing designs. This is basically you can hover over any aspect, and that it'll save that color. So see, I'm hovering over like the blue here.
Yeah.
If I click
Okay.
that, it just added that blue right there.
Okay. Well, that worked for me, but the other didn't work for me. So.
Okay. Reach out to your MCTT, let them know about that.
Okay.
Just to let, but again, the main thing is we have a way to get the colors that you want in there. So that's the most important thing, but definitely reach out to your MCTT so they can take a look at that and see why it's not saving when you just select it this way, like that. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to go down here to the next one, which is images, right? So again, you guys heard me talk about the app downloads on our sign. This is the exact QR code that we have on our listing sign and on our business cards. I built our listing signs and our business cards in designs. So that's why this is in here, because this is something I'm going to use on some of our print stuff, on flyers, things like that. So again, right, we can upload images right here so that they're always right here at our disposal. So we can upload them from our device, Google Drive, Dropboxes. We can upload pictures from Facebook, all right here. So basically, when we go in to edit any of these templates, all these photos will be available for us to brand that template to us really, really quickly.
I have a quick question back on colors and fonts. On the fonts piece, I have some branding fonts that I want to use, and one of them I was able to find, but the other one I can't find in Command. So if we needed to, or would like to, use a different font that's not available in Command, how do we do that?
So what you're going to need to do is find a version of that font that you have and drag and drop that here, and the system will actually convert this over.
When you say find a version, where do I find a version? You mean like in a Word document or something? No.
Right.
I found a font that's close, but it's not exactly what we were
So
supposed to.
yeah, use a Word document with that font, and then post that. And honestly, I haven't uploaded any fonts. So I don't want to tell you something that's not 100%. It may need to be in a certain format. Maybe one of these down here. Like I said, get with your MCTT. If they don't personally know, like myself, I would punt this one, honestly, and I would leverage some of my resources throughout the company that would be able to get me the answer and get it to you very quickly. I just don't want to tell you something unless I'm 100% sure, and I haven't downloaded any fonts. Most of the fonts that I use are right there. Let's see if we hit web. So you can search right here via the web as well for different fonts. And then they also have a place to upload, which is the same thing. It's just the same button just over here. So yeah, just get with and actually a good place to actually look is answers.kw.com, because if there is a way to, and what I would do is type uploading fonts, and they may tell you exactly what you need to in order to do that. So again, for everybody, answers.kw.com, and we would go in here to uploading. And again, I would search it a couple different ways. You may find an article with a walkthrough on exactly how to do that. But that's typically, even as a trainer, where I'll go and I'll be like, oh man, that's exactly where I need to go to get what I needed. But running back real quickly here to images so that I'm trying to get through these three so that we can stay on track here. But again, images, you'll go here, upload. You can select where you're looking to upload those images from. Same thing with text, right? So if there's verbiage that you use on a regular basis, like I use Leslie's name all the time, my telephone number, right? Your bio from your marketing profile is all in there. Your website, right? Legal name, which I don't know why that's in there. I don't use that really, but that's my username, I guess, right? So again, a lot of the stuff that you already upload into your marketing profile is going to be right over here. It's going to pull over here. So again, let's say you want to create something new. You can select what that is and add that, or I could create a new folder. Test. And then I can add things in here. New text. And now we have that text built into this folder here. So right, you can definitely add text if it's all not up there already. Now this is another one that as we go through this list here, you'll see, you know, I have a couple different logos in here, right? Our KWYP, our market center, a couple different market center ones, a couple different realtor ones. But if you use certain logos on a regular basis for marketing pieces, go ahead and have them here. So that way you have them at your disposal. Elements, I don't really use these with so much. There's enough elements in there. These are just more like little background designs. Maybe you found something on a clip art that you like. You can go ahead and upload that as an element. So that way it's there for you to add to a template, you know, if you see fit. Again, videos, if you have any drone videos, listing videos, things like that, you can actually have them right here too in your assets so that they're easily accessible. And then if you have some separate files that you want to be able, like PDFs, things like that, that you want to be able to upload and put directly onto command, you can go right here and upload those via all these different sources right here. But again, the first things first, go through this, make sure all your brand assets are set up, because what that's going to allow you to do is when you do select any of these templates here, right, it allows us to go and edit them very, very quickly. So again, I'm going to roll through this pretty quick, but these are all the different templates we have, right? So anything around the KW app, right? Jumbo postcards, flyers, large postcards, standard size postcards. You can go through, see all the different templates here, right? In buyers, we have buyer presentation templates. Keller Mortgage, neighborhood snaps. And again, what I would recommend, familiarize yourself with this library and understand that KWRI has a team that's constantly coming out with new content. So what you see in here now, there'll be updated, newer stuff constantly on a regular basis coming out. So just always check back to see what new stuff's out here, right? From a lead gen standpoint, client love. So we got postcards. This calls for a celebration. A new chapter begins, right? We do client events. We got event invitations that we can send out and customize and brand to us. Home value, little home value things from a lead gen standpoint. We got door hangers, standard postcards, flyers, right? Maybe we're going around and door knocking in a neighborhood. We got some KW stuff. One that I want to touch on is the personally branded Zen, right? So every quarter, KWRI is coming out with a consumer magazine that is completely brandable to you and your business. So again, this was quarter one. This is quarter two, quarter three, and quarter four just came out. So you'll see Q4 magazine. Go in, you can edit all the images, pretty much everything up there. You can edit to make it you and your business magazine. So if anybody's ever seen like the lifestyle magazines, right? It's the same magazine. It just has a different realtor on it. Whoever paid for that little tiny spot on the bottom of the cover. Well, the cool thing is this is a magazine completely branded to you. So again, maybe you're creating a digital magazine and you're sending that out via email. Maybe you are going to Vistaprint and printing off 30 of these and you're putting them in, hair salons and places where people sit and wait and read things and read magazines, right? But the cool thing is it's not branded to anybody else except you and your business. So definitely get in there, check those out. They're absolutely awesome. And if you want to look at creating like a digital version of the book, get with your MCTT. FlipSmack is one of the places you can go to do that. And, they'll be able to assist you with that. But again, just go through all this. We got business card templates, right? I told you our business cards were built in here, and that's why my QR code was up there. We got plenty of business card templates here, letterheads if you need it. Holidays, right? You don't have to think about things, right? December, we already have some happy holiday things coming out, and more will be rolling out as we get closer and closer to the holidays. But again, you guys kind of get the gist of all this stuff down here, right? We have tons of new stuff. If you just want to see what the new designs are, all you got to do is click here. Again, Q4 magazine is that new one. For us today, we're going to go to listings, and we're going to go to a just listed. So let's say we just took a listing and we're like, hey, you know what? I want a flyer on this particular listing here. So let's say we're just going to pick this one. So now as we select that, we'll see some spinning here.
I didn't see which one you picked. Do we have to pick the same as you or just pick to list one of the flyers?
Pick one that you like. Pick one that you like.
Okay, cool.
I just picked one that I haven't picked in a long time, just so I can look at a different one. So first things first, right? Blink and you'll miss it. Just listed, right? So now when we look at this design, we'll notice we have over here in images, all of our brand assets that we had in images are right here. In addition to that, in images, we have a ton of KWI stock images, right? So just make sure that if you are going to use stock images on any marketing piece, that they're royalty-free images, right? We don't want to be using other people's images and then getting letters that were, using people's photos without their permission and things of that nature. But again, let's say I don't really like this image right here because this doesn't have anything to do with the house.
Did you pick that from the template?
Correct, I did.
And were you able to, can you just type in like just listed and it'll show up, or how do you?
So I'll jump. No,
sorry.
you're fine. So actually I have it open in two windows. So we were under here under the listings and I went to the just listed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you have door hangers. So in this case, I'm doing a flyer. So I went over here, I'm going to print off a flyer. And then I just went down here and selected this one right here.
I have my thing squeezed, so it's actually at the top instead of on the left.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Hey, as long as we get you where you need to be, that's all that matters, right?
Okay.
So again, this image right here is not going to be the house that I'm listing, so I don't really want that in there. So I'm going to highlight that image. I'm going to go here to replace image, and I'm just going to drop my app, a photo of the app. I mean, to me, it looks a little bit better on this one. Now I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, all right, well, that's definitely not me. So I'm going to go back over here to my assets and throw myself in there. Now, again, we can zoom in. All I'm doing is just using my computer to zoom in on this. But honestly, this is all like really small. I can hardly see it. So what I personally do is I will highlight the text box, and then I'll go right over here to our typewriter, and I'll just go. Now, again, if this stuff is in your text, you can obviously just replace it really quick. To me, I'm in here all the time, so it's just one of those things that I'd rather just type it out really quick.
Where did you find those standard pictures that are already there? It's not under images because that's the ones I downloaded.
Correct. So it'd be actually right here underneath workspace.
Okay.
So if you click workspace, you'll see like KW app, and then you'll see like holidays and outdoor activities. Those are all like generic stock photos, and there's a ton of them in there. And I love the app photos, actually. They're really good. But again, all I did was highlight this box. So we're gonna go 757. Go.
Can we use these images when we're doing, we can download them and use them in other places, right?
Yep, absolutely. These are royalty-free images, and KW is giving you the right to use them. So mark it away.
Awesome.
Ted, you are blowing my mind right now with this text box off to the side. I didn't know that existed.
I'm
Hey,
lost
look,
in the text box. I can't find mine.
All right, so check it out. I'll take you right through it here. So let's say we're gonna. All right, so that's my personally branded app code. I need to update that. So I'm gonna go here, and when I highlight a text box right here, next to the font number, is your typewriter box. If you click that, it's gonna pull it out right there for you.
Ted, can you paste in there?
You can.
Because you
Copy and
can't paste anywhere else, right? You can't copy and paste really anywhere else, but I didn't know about this text box. So you can in there?
So I've copy and pasted here if I edited it directly there.
Can you do that? Show us again how you did that.
So just highlight the text box here,
Yeah.
and then right up here next to your font is the typewriter. And if you click that, it'll pull this box out for you.
If you just want to copy, paste something into it, like another image.
Oh yeah. So let me find my app link real quick so that way I can post my actual app link. Bear with me. So I'll copy this real quick, and we'll jump right back over here. Paste it in right there. Boom.
But if you wanted to paste an image.
Oh, yeah, no, you're not going to be able to paste the image. So that would be where we actually. Why is it not doing it? So there we'll see we got my personal code for my app right here downloaded. Now, again, let's say we want to pick a listing, right? Because this is the main thing that we wanted to get to here is notice all these tabs, right? This is the text. Well, again, assets, anything that I have here that I use on a regular basis will be right here. Same thing with logos, right? The big thing about this that we wanted to touch on here is the KWLS system. So let's say I want to, this is for 69 Cooper Drive in Portsmouth. All I'm going to do is type the address in, and notice here, it's searching every MLS in the country. So again, if you have the city, type that in there. Once you see the listing that you're looking for, all you're going to do is hit select. And then on the left side of the page, every image from the MLS populates right here. So let's say this image, kitchen shows good. I'm going to highlight that box there. Go over here, replace this image with that one. And then let's say Actually, no, let's replace top one with the outside pic. And then we will replace this one with the kitchen pic. So now we've taken that. Now notice here I selected a text box. I'm going to go over here to my listing details, not the photos. And it has all the MLS information and text right here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to add the property description and replace that with my property description. Probably need to make it a little bit bigger here. So now what I'm going to do is, and I know this one is not listed. We are at 36. Save changes. Now, if I were to, and I'm not gonna continue to edit this because again, for time's sake, I want to just make sure we get through one more thing. But now, once I've edited it completely the way that I want, right? And actually, I will throw one more thing up there just because, right? Always, again, we talk about having things personally branded to us. So again, I probably put our business logo down here, and then obviously we want to make sure that our KW logo is down there. Boom. Ownership statements there. So all I'm going to do now, right, because this is a print document, we're going to download it. And this is the big thing, right? If this is for print, we want to make sure we what? Download this as a PDF for printing purposes. So all we're going to do, and I'm actually not even going to worry. You don't have to worry too much about that. We're just going to hit download. Now you're going to see up here in the corner that it's preparing.
I was trying to find the download and I hit save and now it's just saving a thumbnail.
Not a problem. So you can actually go back, open this exact template up that you've edited. And then when you go here, just hit this drop down and you have PNG files, PDF standard, PDF for printing. And then you also have your JPEG, which is something that you would use to post to social media and things of that nature. So,
Okay, so the download.
Just go back to download and
It's
select the one that you want.
For print.
Yeah.
Okay, PDF. Got it.
And just like the video, right, it's going to be found in our downloads. So if I were to close this, open this back up again, and go to our downloads, I got our PDF just listed right here in PDF format for printing. And again, this is what it looks like. That PDF format. So we'll see that whole property description came in, all my personal information, branded app link, all our images, and we got the nice little KW app up here too. Like I said, I actually like this flyer. It came out. Surprised I haven't used this one yet. I might have to use this one. Anyways, any questions on creating a flyer? And again, right, if I wanted to save
When
this,
I downloaded, sorry, I don't have to keep going. I was just looking, when I downloaded it, I looked in my files and I don't see it. Like it didn't, it said it downloaded, but now it's not there. And now it's not letting me read it.
Did you check in your actual downloads in the files in your computer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know where it may be sending it. It may be saving it to a different, maybe it's saving it to documents. Not 100% sure.
I'll look around.
Yeah, and also look down here, right? Because you notice here just listed 03FI_ORI. If you know what that name is, if you just go down here in your search bar and you start to type that name, it will find wherever that thing downloaded. And then if you just hover over it, it'll show you what location it's in. I've had to do that.
Yeah, I just re-downloaded it and it did it now. It just, I guess, didn't load the first time. Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. All right. So again, right, if we wanted to post this to social media, all I would do differently is I'd go here to a JPEG and I usually go to high quality and I do the same thing. and I would just download that as a JPEG. Any other questions on this particular one?
This is amazing.
All right,
This is
so the
so
last thing, and I know we're a little bit over time, so if you have to go, that's totally fine. Again, David probably knew with me doing this, be a little long-winded, but again, hopefully you guys are getting some things that you can implement in your business, and that's all all I really care about. So the last thing, right? And again, we'll say this is for, you know, a listing presentation. So we'll stay in the print area. But the main one that I wanted to touch on here is the listing presentations. So the cool thing is, and I can tell you guys, when I first came to KW, like everybody talked about how we needed a listing presentation, how important it was knowing your listing process, right? When you go in that appointment. And like one of the biggest like barriers for me was like creating a listing presentation that I actually liked, that I thought was professional, that I thought made me look like I had a chance to win the listing, right? So with that being said, the cool thing is KWI has taken a lot of that off of your plate as an agent, right? And you have multiple different templates that you can actually go in here and edit and create a personally branded. What I recommend and what my fiance does in our business is she has her listing template. Occasionally she'll have to go in, you know, once a quarter and update her numbers so that they're accurate to our stats. But other than that, the only page she edits for every listing appointment is the front page, and she just puts the client's name on. That's it. So real quick, just want to make sure you guys know how to add the pages. So again, we're in listing presentations. We selected the template that we actually wanted. It's going to spin here and take us to our We brand. Right? Now, what you'll see here, I'm going to get this out of the way. We have 29 pages, right? And these are all pages to the listing presentation. Now, all the way that you edit things via print, via social, what we've seen this entire class, you edit things the same way. You have the typewriter box, right? You got your images, all your brand assets. The big thing is, first and foremost, you're going to need to go through here and you're going to have to select the actual pages that you want in your listing presentation, right? So let me get this down out of the way. So here we'll see the second one, which this is nothing but an instruction page on how to customize this, right? So again, what I would tell you is pretty familiar. If you have any questions, obviously get with your MCTT, but this is really the front page of the listing presentation. This is just the template. This is the instructions. Here's your front page of your listing presentation. Again, the way we edit this is the same way, right? So if I want to go here, replace image, boom.
Where did you find that again? I didn't see where you found it.
So page one. Let me
Now,
go
how
back
did you get
here.
to the list? Is it under my assets? Oh,
So we're in our templates.
gotcha.
Underneath the listing drop down, no problem. And then listing presentation. And we have 5 different ones to choose from. So what I would tell you before you start going in here, editing one and branding it, run through all 5 of them and just take a look at them. See which one speaks to you the most, which one fits you and your business the best, right? And then go through and start to brand it and make it yours. But jumping back to here, going through, again, this is listing presentation template. That's probably nothing you want up there on your listing presentation, nor the instructions, right? So the big thing is get here to the first page, which is usually number 3. The way let's say I want to change this image over to Leslie's, then we'll just boom, right? Super easy to swap things out, highlight what you're looking to do. Let's go to this next page, your property guide. Let's say we don't like this image and we're gonna put Leslie there, and then let's say
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
How did you get to where you're at now? I'm already in the presentation part. I already have the listing presentation, but I don't see what you're seeing.
So
Where- I
you
see
selected
drawings.
you selected the template, correct?
Correct. Uh-huh.
Now down here in the bottom right, you have pages.
Oh.
If you click that, that will pull up all these different pages here.
You know, it's not letting me go down, so that's what's the problem. Oh no. Okay. All right. I'm
Are
not
you
gonna
are you
prolong it. I just
are
gotta-
you
Uh-huh.
Hey Bonnie, are you like zoomed in on your screen by any chance so that you're kind of zoomed in a little too close? I don't know, get with me. You're in my market center. Get with me and we can help get you a listing presentation built up.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Thank
No
you.
problem. No problem. All right. So again, like I said, just run through all these different listing presentations. There's some awesome slides in here, right? And you could download these and just use one of these if you just like one of them for marketing purposes. I love this one personally. Finding your buyer, savviest marketing plan. How home buyers find their home, and it literally breaks it down, right? I mean, just there's certain slides, certain pages in here that are just super, super like awesome. I don't know any other word for it. But again, this is an example. Go through, customize it. What I want to show you guys though before we finish up is an example of a listing presentation that is done. So this is Leslie's listing presentation that she's actually gone in and customized. It's got the name of our last listing appointment up there. So give us a second. But again, this is her front page to her listing presentation right here, right? She likes this teal color. I think that's teal, whatever it is. I do not know what that pop-up is, but we will just enable it for now. All right, so again, this is the second page to hers, right? Your needs comes first, visualizing your dream scenario. Her role as a realtor. And again, notice all these colors match. I know these aren't the colors that are on the original template. She likes them. Her business cards have this color. I guess it's easy on the eyes. Whatever. She likes it. So I'm cool with it. But she's gone through completely changed. This was all red. Like I want to say this whole page is all red. She just went in and changed the color of the boxes. Right. So again, I just want you guys to kind of see an example. Same slide. We just went over this slide. I talked about how I like this slide. That stays the same color, but all this stuff has been changed to kind of, flow with the rest of the listing presentation.
If we
Right.
create the listing presentation, can we download that and work out of command in it?
So we say when you create your listing presentation, download it. What do you?
Only
So what do you?
download the PDF, or can you download it? If just say you pull up the template and then you decide, I don't want to work in command, I want to use Canva or something else. Can you somehow?
So I guess that would, again, it would help if I actually spent a lot of time in Canva prior to this. What I would assume, and again, this is an assumption, doesn't always work out well when you do that. But based on what we can do in Command and the fact that we could take a PDF from somewhere else and import it and then start to edit it in Designs, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to export this as a PDF and then in Canva upload it as a PDF and start editing that PDF. Now, again, are you going to be able to edit the verbiage and all this stuff? Probably not. You're not going to have the same ability to customize the template. You just be taking that PDF, downloading it exactly the way it is. And then, so I personally, like I said, I would recommend getting with your NCT, because again, this is think about a listing or a buyer presentation. Once you have it made, like it's done. And like I told you, like all this is the same for every listing presentation she goes on. Literally every single one. The only thing that happens is this. We'll go in, she'll have to occasionally update this, right? Like our listing numbers and things like that. But we'll typically do that once a quarter. So it's nothing too crazy. And again, the only page that she edits, like I said, the numbers once a quarter, and then she'll edit this page. And all she does is double click this, pulls up the text box, types in the new client's name, and she's off to the listing appointment. So once you get it built, and like I said, if you are, like I told Bonnie, right, I'm her MCTT in her market center. So I told Bonnie, hey, look, if you're having some issues, just get with me, get with your MCTT. We'll help you get this stuff built out. We'll take a little bit of the stress out of it along the way too, and get you what you need. Because again, the whole reason, and I know all the MCTTs in our region, including, and obviously David, we're all in this role and we do what we do because we love helping people. So again, if you guys aren't leveraging us, that's on you. We're here. We want to help you. So get with them and they'll definitely help you get together a awesome buyer and listing presentation so that way you can just edit the name and roll to that next listing appointment. Anybody have any questions over? There is one more thing. I'm gonna give you guys one more thing because this is just something I can't believe I didn't do, and I absolutely love this. So let's say we wanted to change this color of the U or of the your to this blue we have up here on my taskbar or on my menu up here. All I'm gonna do is when I pull up my color satchel, notice that all the colors that I put in here are up there for the most part. I've created multiple different templates now, but this is the main thing, right? That marker, if we click this, it now allows me, notice right here in this black, and right here, it's completely black. Actually, it's not going to go off the page. So let's say I want to change this to this lighter pink instead of the red. All I'm going to do is hover over whatever color it is that I want that to be, and I'm just going to click it, and it's going to change that color. So one of the cool things is just being able to go in here, edit certain things really, really quickly. I'm trying to find another good one. All right, this will be a good one to show you. This is a little bit better. So you have all these different colors here. Let's say I wanted to change these words. Go here. Select the color satchel. Let's say we want the brown of the door right here. I'm just going to hover over this brown, select that, and now, so the cool thing is when you're building a listing, you know, social media posts or anything like that, you're able to, let's say you just want the background, the color of the listing, the exterior of the home. You can just hover over that picture of the home once you have it up there, and that whole background can match that. And it just ties marketing pieces together and things of that nature. But I'm going to jump out here of my screen share and let's see. Any questions in the chat? No problem. No problem. Hopefully you guys got something and, you know, you can take something away, implement in your business. And again, if you guys have any questions, sometimes I know this stuff goes a little fast. Sometimes it's a lot, right? In a little bit of time, just get with your MCTT. Like I said, we're all here to help. But yeah, does anybody have any other questions that I can answer? I know we went a little bit over. My apologies, but I thank you guys for sticking with me.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if nobody has any questions, I will go ahead and let you guys rock and roll. Y'all have an awesome day. Y'all have an awesome day.
Thank you, you too. Thank you.
Bye. That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.